we can see it's heading to the upside. So the first video I post it by mistake, but it's gonna be the first video, and then you're gonna continue with this video to be your second video. So in this case, the trend is still intact as long as the market continues to break structure to the upside. So in our case here, you can see that the market did a retracement, respected our strong low in our case, and also went forward to break the other low that you can see there. In the next case, you can see also we had a retracement, and the retracement was respecting. Now, in this case, when the second break of structure happens, you are no longer focusing on the previous strong low that you had, and now your attention is going to be on the current low. So as long as the the retest is all, the retracement is going to be happening. So you just have to understand one thing, that it doesn't have, for this trend to remain intact, it has to not, or it has to respect this low by not breaking it, sweeping it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to sweep it, doesn't have to break it for the trend to remain intact. So in this case, when the price pushes further, then you expect the next break of structure. And once the next break of structure happens and you confirm it has happened with the closure of the body, then the same case applies. Now you have a new break of structure, meaning now this is no longer your strong low, and the strong low is newly created. That is how you maintain a trend, and that is how you usually make sure that the trend is intact and the trend is heading towards one specific direction. So in our case, I'm going to go to the charts analysis, and I'm going to choose one time frame. Specifically, you know that I have personally divided my time frames into a specific manner in which I use. So in this case, you can see that I can take a simple trend that was happening. I don't know which area to take, but I can just choose this specific trend. So in this case, you can see we have a downtrend market where the market is moving from one swing point of the higher time frame to a swing point of the lower time frame. Now inside there we have something we call market structure. Now this market structure is what I'm going to be discussing for you to understand what it means. So in our case here, you can see we have a high, meaning we have a low, and that low has been broken. So this is a very good area of example where we are talking of a very good break of structure. So where the candlesticks have accepted to cross below that particular low, you can see the candlestick has closed below with the closure of the body. So in this case, you can know now that you have your strong high in that particular case. Okay, so when I was illustrating using a path, I was using an uptrend, but now I have gone to a downtrend. I believe there's no difference, and you can really understand the difference between the two situations. So once we created this low, we broke structure, we could see that the market was able to retrace back inside the zone. And after taking a certain level, remember now this becomes our low that has to be broken. I don't want to use the names of higher highs and higher lows and lower highs, because I want you to deeply understand the meaning of a structural point. Okay. So in our case here, you can see now we created a new low, and this low was also being taken out very, very easily, and the closure of the body happens below that specific low. This means that what? Now you are not interested with this as your swing point high. Now you have a new swing point that has to be broken, or you have a new strong high, not swing point, but strong high that has to be broken for it to tell you that the trend is already done with that direction. So in our case, once the break of structure happens for the second time, now this becomes here your strong high. How did I identify that this is my strong high? How you identify it, very, very simple, is first understanding the lows that was created when the retracement happened for the first time. You can see we broke structure, created this low, and we had a retracement. Up to where that retracement happens, up to the break of structure, that area is which you call your strong high. In our case, this is our strong high. So in this case, you can see also we had something we call aggressive distribution, where the retracement did not happen inside the range of our high, but we created a new high and then we were a new low, and then we were able to break structure again. So the market came here. You can see here we created this low, failed to break, created a new low, and now you can see the break of structure happened there. This is the reality of market structure. When I am drawing to illustrate, it will be super, super easy, but when you come to the candlesticks, you have to practice. You have to do more practice for you to be able to understand how this price behaves. Because candlesticks, me using this path to illustrate, okay, I know maybe most of you don't understand. Me using this path to illustrate, it's gonna always be simply meaning like it's easy. but you have to stick to the charts. You have to invest time on the charts analysis for you to be able to understand price action. Okay, are we together? So in this case, you can see the second break of structure has happened. And for the second break of structure happens, now we know that the body has closed below. Now this is no longer our strong high. Now in our case, since we want to continue with the trend on that specific time frame, this becomes our strong high. How did I say you understand your strong high? Is by the where the low was created to retracement to where the break of structure happens. That is your strong high. So as long as now the trend, as long as the retracement happens, it doesn't take out that high, there is no problem as long as it will continue and break structure to the downside. So in our case here, you can see that we had created this low, and these some challenges you'll be having. But if you notice something here is that we never broke this low using what? We never broke this low using the body of the candle. But we saw a new low being created. You have to move your body there. Again, you have to wait until that low being created. So it's two ways. Either this strong high is being taken out or this low being broken. Also here you can see we are able to sweep that low. That becomes your new low that has to be broken. So now in this case, you can see we were able to break structure again here. And when the break of structure happened, you can see that we had a new trend. From that particular case, you can see that the break of structure happened in this particular case. And now this is no longer my new high. I'm going to tick from where we created a new low. Okay, where we created the first new low to the highest retracement to when the break of structure happened. Avoid taking these because if you take these, you're going to end up maybe ignoring. Sometimes this area will be higher than this. So these are challenges you'll be having until you get used to drawing this particular analysis. It's normal. It's normal. Nothing is easy. Nothing comes easy. But again, I'm promising you that once you do more practice, it's going to be super, super understandable. So in our case now, this happens to be our trend. Now, if you observe, this is our strong previous highs that we had in this case. That has to not be taken out for us to may know that the trend is intact. Now, if you check, we had a very good downtrend with a few breakout structures. You can see we have a high, we have a retracement, we have a low, we have a retracement, we have a new low here, we have a retracement, we have a new low here, then we have a retracement, which led to something we call a change of character. We have different types of change of characters. We have internals. We have two types of internals, and we have the main, like this one now. It has already just taken out immediately our previous strong highs. So in this case, now the only thing you need to understand is if you understand how market structure is drawn in that, like in this particular case, you just need to put attention on two things. One, what pushes price to break structure further, and what pushes price or pushes back the price to do a retracement. There's two things, and I'm going to be discussing them in the next video. Please stay intact. By the time you're finishing to watch all these videos, you're going to have a system that you can follow. I'm going to be talking about one thing. What are areas that pushes the price further? For instance, market mitigated here and pushes further to break structure. That is one thing. The second thing is what are areas that give a retracement before giving a new break of structures. Once you understand the areas that give retracement and the areas that pushes further to break structure, Habibi, you're good. You don't need any more things. You just need to focus. You just need to pay attention, understand market structure, understand where you're supposed to enter. Are you trading reversals? Are you trading retracement? So in our case, that is the video about market structure. I'm going to be doing more videos. Make sure you follow every time you watch these videos because they are going to be super, super important and helpful for you guys to understand price action. So remember to subscribe and also to join my TikTok lives to get to understand more. See you in the next video.